you'll actually find there's upon the false foundation.
Yes.
And you could say that's the foundation of sand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talked about.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is the trouble with a foundation, like a house built on sand, is that eventually it must fall. And you've just got to grieve the fact that all that effort was put into building it and all that faith was put into building it, and yet it was all false and it's just got to fall.
And how can I feel strong as I grieve?
Well, you can't. That's the point of grief. You see, the anger wants you want to be strong, and that's why the anger exists.
Yeah.
And you really can't be strong while you grieve, But you'll actually find there's a real relief in it, grieving is a relieving process, where you come out of it feeling like you can breathe again, like you're free and peaceful and serene. And, that's the beauty of not trying to gain control over your grief, but always letting yourself feel it, is that you end up, after you've felt it, you end up in a state where you feel relieved of the burden of it. Yeah? When you hold on to it, you're not only holding on to the grief, but you're also creating anger. And then you've got a double issue. You've got the grief that's being stored, that's still determining your actions. And then you've got, on top of that, the anger that drives a lot of, violent behaviour, potentially. The key is to learn how to feel your anger without becoming violent with it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because now I feel, as you're saying this, I see that it's not good to be violent.
Yep.
But now I feel
But you don't want to suppress your anger.
Temptation to suppress it.
Correct, correct. So you remember Paul said that you could be angry but not sin. You remember that?
Yeah.
And at the time you read that, and probably all your earth life, you haven't thought that that's possible, right? But now you can see that you can be angry and not sin. And the way you do that is by feeling your anger in a private setting where you've got things to bash and you've got things to yell at and you've got, you know what I mean? And God's also happy if you want to yell there as well. He'll be right with that, because he can handle it. Right? He knows that he's not to blame for what's happened to you, even if sometimes you feel he is. And also, he knows who is to blame, and he has already attributed that blame to those people through his laws. So he's already done that as well. And after a while, after you get through your anger, you'll feel that, you can see that. You'll be able to even visit some of the people who, were responsible for the establishment of those rules and laws, and you'll be able to see what's happened to them in their past and see that there is a burden that they bear that's way beyond even your current burden, right? So you will see the justice in it eventually, but I'm not saying you'll be able to skip to there. You won't be able to skip over the rage you have. You need to let yourself go through it, but you need to do it in a manner that's not going to get violent with others. Otherwise, then you sin and hurt others, you see. But you can feel and experience anger without becoming violent and destructive towards others. And also you can ask some of your friends. I've got some friends coming to you now, and they're going to show you how to create an environment where you can just express your anger without hurting anyone. You follow? But the goal of the anger is to get to, of going through your anger, is to get to your grief. Now, this is so. What we need to do is talk a little bit about your attitude to the grief needs to change. You follow me? Your attitude at the moment is, I want to control it. I think it's weak. I think it's powerless. That's your attitude at the moment. And you have a lot of judgment for that, right?
Yes.
That it's weak and powerless. Unless you change that attitude towards your grief, you will be very inclined to go into anger all the time. Does that make sense? So there is needing to be some beliefs changed internally that say, no, I can feel my anger and I can do it in a righteous way, you know, then I can, after I've felt through this anger, I can see that you'll feel that your anger is a direct result of you trying to control your grief. Does that make sense to you? And you'll feel that, and then you'll feel like, oh, I don't want to control it anymore. I just want to have the relief and the peace of feeling it and letting it go. That makes sense? And once you break through to that point, you'll have a period of grieving. And of course, there is a lot to grieve. You know, the 400 years of lost life, lost individuality, lost sexuality, lost emotions, lost intuition, lost being a woman, lost the joy of experiencing yourself and understanding even your personality and your nature, feeling like all of those things got lost. That's a lot to grieve, right? But God will help you grieve. And if you ask God for love during that period, He will give it to you, and it will help you. He'll help you go through the grief and also help you be happier sooner. You follow? Yeah. I know it's very tempting to get angry with God about it and to think, oh, well, it was a religion, so it's all God's fault. But
it's not really that.
No.
It's not really that we feel it's God's fault.
But it's tempting because of the anger, you see, the anger's. When the anger's there, we have a temptation to blame everyone and sundry, even if they weren't involved. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also don't avoid where the anger should be aimed either, in the sense that it's with anger you need to come to the terms with the fact that there are certain people responsible, but also that I can feel my anger without aiming it anywhere. Like I don't need to punish those people. God's got all of that correction process in order already, right?
I think the difficulty, and I will be very honest, that a number of us are now having is that it's very hard to say.
That's all right. That's all right.
That we can't listen to men anymore.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
And it's very hard to say that because we don't. Yeah, but it's the truth of what's happening.
You're my sister, but I understand. Like, you've been what I would view as abused by men all of your life. And the way they've abused you is through your beliefs. Do you understand? They've taught you false beliefs and abused you by using those beliefs to abuse you. And so that's no different than violent abuse and no different than sexual abuse and
those things did happen.
Yeah, that's right. Those things also happen, particularly, right, by other men, religious so-called, as well, right? So God understands why you feel the way you feel, right? And I do too. And, not all men are like that, but unfortunately there is a large majority of men on earth like that, unfortunately, as you well know. And particularly during the time in which you lived when there was less law controlling their behaviour. So, again, this is something that can be grieved, and God hasn't let them off the hook for their behaviour. God's taken issue with their behaviour through the law, and they have received the just compensation for their bad behaviour, right? But if you allow yourself to get into this dynamic where you want the very last one of them to finish their punishment before you grow towards God, then you're going to be waiting a long time.
It's not that. It's just a matter of trust now.
Yeah.
That,
I understand. Yeah. But God's a woman as well as a man. God's has a feminine nature as well as a masculine one. Yes. You can feel that, surely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you know that God's not entirely male. So even though I am, God isn't.
It's it's hard to say that, but it does seem important to be truthful about what is happening.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I know now you're saying it's hard to trust Jesus and all that, and that seems very complicated for you.
Yeah.
But,
But we are listening.
Yeah.
And actually, it just has helped to say that.
Yeah.
Too.
But you've got to remember you're also saying that through Mary, who is my other half. Not Mother Mary, but Mary Magdalene, who's my other half. And she also has had a similar experience. You know that.
Yeah.
Yes, to what you've had at the hands of men. So in our soul, we have compassion for the circumstance you're in. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. No, we feel softer now. So
yeah. Just be okay about your anger. It's okay to express it. The women that I've asked to come, they're with you now, and they'll be able to help you sort of create an environment where you can express your rage and then get into your sadness. And when you feel blocked, it'll be because there's more rage to feel, and then you express your rage again and you feel some sadness. And after a while, you get used to getting to the point where you no longer need the power over your sadness. And once you get to the point where you don't need power over your sadness anymore, you won't get angry anymore. Make sense?
Yeah.
But also don't forget to ask God for love. Your mum, God's your mum, and ask her for love, and she'll help you through that process. Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. We can feel what you say is true.
Yeah.
Thank you for your help. And again,
thanks for coming. And it's good that you expressed your rage.
We feel very embarrassed now.
No, you don't need to be. It's, there's so many people of religious faith who have lived these very stoic, shut down lives, thinking they're doing the right thing, and all of them have got very similar experiences that you are going through now to have.
We have to help them.
That's right. There's billions of those people on earth right at this moment. And so to have a group of people like yourselves who are aware of what they're going to need to experience, you have a great capacity to be able to help them at some point in the future, but you need to go through the experience yourself first to understand it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm very sorry that you've had that terrible experience. Yeah.
We're very sorry we got it wrong for so long.
Well, you didn't get it wrong, you were taught wrong. And this is one thing to bear in mind, is it's not your fault. You say you got it wrong, but it's not your fault you got it wrong. And you are barely culpable for the things you got wrong in the circumstances you were in. Yep.
Yes, it's hard not to feel that we have done a lot of wrong, though.
I know, I understand.
We've treated ourselves and others, and even in the way that we've worshipped you, and it feels very wrong.
Well, it's wrong, but if you allow yourself to ask God what she feels about your culpability.
Less than we think.
Less than you think, yeah. Yes, and that's worth remembering too, right? Because one of the traps you don't want to get into here is blaming yourself for what you did after you were indoctrinated into a process. Yeah? And you were indoctrinated into a process at such a young age, when you were a little girl, that it was highly unlikely the rest of your life wouldn't occur, given how indoctrinated your whole family and how you were pushed into that life and what they wanted from you. Your family wanted, and then the religious faith wanted. And you were taught that this is the way you worship God, by giving all of these people all the things they want. And this is, this level of indoctrination that's occurred is fundamentally like getting a child and moulding its mind to the point where it's incapable of thinking and breaking away from it for hundreds of years later. Do you understand? So don't be so harsh on yourself about it. You follow? Okay. Yeah, God's not going to be harsh on you about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty pretty heavy life. That. There you go.
I'm sad.
Yeah, sad life. Yeah, what can you say about that? It's just like hundreds of years of living a certain way, indoctrinated, abused by religion in the name of God. And it's such a blasphemy, you know. And the people who have lived those lives bear such terrible burdens. And as I said to her, the only way is to be soft to your sadness about it. Yeah, there's no other thing you can really do, you know, because there's no way to change it now. It's done, and this is where she'll find that God is going to give her so many blessings that she'll get to a point in a few years, and it's not going to be too many away, where she hardly remembers what happened to her. Yeah. Any questions, you guys? Yeah. Who would you like, Beck?
If we go start at the back, Rebecca, and then come to your...
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I've got the mic. See, I just need to turn them off of mute. Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you. It feels like we just